we have a young generation that is armed with military weapons, with explosives. They're impulsive. They have conflicts that are about the drug markets, but also about vengeance. We have around 60 areas that are vulnerable. If we don't do anything about this situation, I'm afraid that we might have a new deadly, tragic record at the end of this year.
Me läheme kohtuma krimifotograafiga, kes on aastaid töötanud Stockholmi karmimate kuriteopiirkondade keskmes. Ta viib meid rinkepüsse, mida peetakse neist nii-öelda haavatavatest piirkondadest vast kõige hullemaks. When you said before we should look out for our cameras,
yes.
Were you being serious?
Yes, a couple of years ago, a TV team was actually robbed, I think, in Rinkeby when they were filming. On this parking spot here, Mullu was shot the day after Christmas. And he was shot by several shots in his head.
Is there anything that we know about who came from where, who shot who?
No, not right now. But the only thing we know is that Mullu's mother is living very close to this area. So I think he was shot between those cars, if I remember. And this is a normal living place. It's a lot of apartments. Earlier it has been a lot of shootings here.
Jõuluõhtu mõrv Rinkebys oli osa tervest reast tulistamistest ja plahvatustest, mis politsei usub on omavahel seotud. Sõidame edasi Vällingbysse, vaid 15 minuti kaugusel.
So now we're going to the place where the shooting happened on New Year's Eve, right?
Yes. On New Year's Eve it was a shooting here. A guy from Hässelby was killed here.
And it happened in front of a McDonald's.
Yes.
It seems like a pretty public place.
Yes.
There's a lot of shops around.
Yes, exactly. This is like a shopping mall.
So do you know what he was killed over?
There's been a conflict between Hässelby Gård and Hässelby Strand since a couple of years back.
So, and this is all publicly known, so everyone knows that it's gang wars.
Yes.
A reason that we've seen an increased amount of death shootings the last year is because recently in Sweden the police has had successful operations where they managed to arrest a lot of leaders in the criminal environment, which has led to consequences where there are no leaders on the streets or less leaders, but a lot of young teenagers that want to take the spot.
Politsei kinnitab, et arrestide mõttes oli eelmine aasta üliedukas, kuid rekordaastat surmades see ei pidurdanud, vaid pigem hoopis hoogustas. Lepin kokku vestluses Stockholmi politsei esindajaga, et mõista, millises muutumises on Stockholmi gängikultuur.
Until a couple of years ago, we had a bunch of gangs and they were kind of stable. The members, they belonged to one gang and they didn't change side. Nowadays, we know that it's a much more dynamic situation. The one that is your brother one day could be your enemy the next day, and it's all about selling drugs. Nowadays, it's very hard for our intelligence to see what person belonged to what gang, because that could be changed in 24 hours.
It's very widespread here in Sweden. We don't have a hierarchy that is more common in many other cities. And this is actually a problem. They have so many conflicts against each other and they're so unorganized, which makes them even more dangerous.
So down here, a bomb exploded at midnight.
Right there?
Yes, right there.
In front of this?
Yes.
Very door?
Yes.
Vaata, siin on aken kinni teibitud, uus puidust aken pandud. Vanast on veel killud taga. Siin samamoodi. Näha, et kõik on väga värske.
The day before, the big explosion, it also was an explosion here in the same place. I think there's some injuries if you see all around here.
Since everything's kind of fine, I guess it wasn't the biggest bomb, right? So it's bombs that people built by themselves in their home?
No, it was like a frag that they...
Like a grenade?
Grenade, exactly.
But it's like a regular living place. You see baby strollers here.
So right now there's just shooting all over the place.
So you can be living in a completely normal area.
Yes, yes. And these were a guy called Scar is living, and he has been involved in the shooting of the artist Einar.
On üha ilmsem, et viimase 2 nädala sündmused on otsapidi seotud räppmuusikaga. Sündmuste ahel viib tagasi 2021. aasta oktoobrisse, mil tapeti tolle hetke kuumim Rootsi artist Einar. Õnneks me teame täpselt õiget inimest, kelle käest lähemalt uurida.
1, 2, 3, 4!
The sad thing about the death of Einar is that it was nothing new. The thing that was new was that it was an artist on that level. That we hadn't seen that before.
Peter räägib, et paljud räpparid on pärit haavatavatest piirkondadest, nagu Rinkeby, mistõttu pole üllatav, et tihti käib nende puhul muusikuelu ja kuritegevus käsikäes. On aga kindel pahupool, mis kaasneb sellega, et Rootsi nüüdseks kuulatuima žanri suurimad tähed üksteisega nõnda avalikult sõdivad.
So you have a situation right now, as you point to, where you have sort of like an ecosystem of information, gossip and rumors and discussions around these things. There is a very high interest in these specific types of crimes, and I mean you can connect that to a general very high interest for like the true crime genre, which exploded over the last 10 years.
Paljud praegused konfliktid rulluvad lahti nagu reaalajas tõsielusarjad. Noored on toimuvaga kursis, laigivad, kommenteerivad ja valivad pooli gängikonfliktides, millesse neil poleks ilma sassagi, kui nende gängide postripoisteks poleks mõned riigid tuntuimad muusikud.
There is now an opportunity to be like a bystander to these events that opportunity didn't exist a couple of years ago. So when high-profile things happen that involve artists, you see this on their social media, for example. You can see in the comment section people taking sides, people almost like cheering for a team against another. Often these are very young people and maybe like people, as I said, very, very far removed from the events themselves.
Noortele, kes on juba haavatavas positsioonis, võib see mõjuda nagu sütik.
We have too many young kids that would like to come into these criminal gangs. When we arrest one, we have a lot of waiting persons to be members of the criminal gangs. We could see, for example, one of the arrested kids was 14 years old. He has been taken care of by the social service, the municipality, and one of the guys that has been put into jail is 15 years old. He was arrested by the police when he had fired into an apartment on the day between Christmas and New Year.
A couple of weeks ago, there was a bomb exploding here on this address. One very, very big artist in Sweden is living. So you can see they are working upstairs, and the bomb was exploding here. Yeah. A lot of police cars and fire trucks were responding to this call.
And there was destruction in there as well?
Yes.
Are you working on the aftermath of the explosion?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened there?
All the windows broke, they exploded.
So the bomb was here and the windows there exploded as well?
And that on the neighbor as well.
Kui viimase paari nädala vägivallalaine tõukub peamiselt valusast haavast, mis kisti lahti siin, nende korterite vahel 1,5 aastat tagasi, siis probleem ise on mõistagi laiem. Mida teha nende nii-öelda haavatavate piirkondadega ning kuidas pidurdada seal võrsuvat uut kriminaalide põlvkonda?
Most of these young children, in many cases, are born here in Sweden, but have been growing up in more vulnerable areas, as we have here, segregated areas where we have a high unemployment. So they end up trying to find some kind of work where they can earn easy money, which is, in many cases, selling drugs. And this is the base of some of these children. They joined the gangs.
I think we will see the trend will be like the last couple of years in Stockholm.
Can you specify why do you think that?
Because it will take a lot of social efforts. The trend will be broken when we can take care of the kids so that the criminal gangs can't recruit the young kids into the criminal gangs. When we can see that the whole society are taking care about these kids.